thing you might want to keep your eye on is the 3 tons of confetti that is expected to fall from 13 buildings where people with hand-fired cannons will be launching them. Let's join the crowd. Getting buried in a sea of confetti here. Happy New Year. Wow, what a show. We know how to put on a show here, don't we, in New York City?
People should know that all this confetti, the tons of it, is literally shot from guns. You could, as the fireworks went, so did those guns and fired this stuff into the air. And we're 26 stories above the street. As you can see, it's everywhere here. It is everywhere.
Now, since people don't quite have smell-o-vision yet, they don't understand, in addition to these little pieces of paper that are being shot out of the cannons, that is, there are also some what are they calling them? Sense strips, sensoriums.
Yeah, they're distributing paper squares larger than these pieces of confetti that contain what is being called a world olfactory sculpture by somebody. And the artist is said to have consulted with officials of 230 nations to identify a scent from tree, flower, grass, or herb that is significant to each land. And then apparently they gathered the oils and created this scent. And if you want to find out more about this, and I can't imagine why you would, you can check out a website called www.worldsensorium.com.
You don't seem to be fully appreciative of the 10-year effort it took this artist to create this scent.
Look at this. Look at this.
It is magnificent. Thing about this party here in Britt is that this is a 24-hour celebration. We may not be able to brag quite yet that this is the largest gathering of celebrants, but this party has been going on since 6 o'clock this morning, and they've actually celebrated 24, or will by the end of this, 24 different time zones going into the millennium. And you probably heard the rise of the sound of the crowd on an hourly basis. Yet another place in the world. Come into the next century.
I'm struck, Paula, by the mood of all this. You know, this has been a year in which, in a number of ways, there have been pessimistic forecasts about outcomes of various kinds. There was all kinds of thought that after impeachment there would be a terrible down period in America, that the Kosovo war would result in a period of enduring trouble, that the stock market couldn't maintain these levels. And all of that seems to have now passed. And the optimists have been right at every turn. And the optimists were right again about tonight and about the ability of this whole transition to occur without any untoward incident so far. And although there were celebrations canceled, most conspicuously, of course, in Seattle and in a number of other places as well, the people who turned out in such force here and elsewhere were, I think, among the nations. We're living, I think, at a great time, at a remarkable time in America. People feel it, they sense it, they believe it, and they believe in it. And you see them out in the streets here tonight, and you saw them late today as Wall Street closed down. After a half a day, there was a surge at the end, and I think nearly all the indexes, perhaps save for the NASDAQ, which had already been at the top, closed at record levels. These are good times in America.
Oh, they are indeed. And I'll tell you one thing. The folks out here around Times Square had to have tremendous faith in law enforcement officials that they could pull this off. I know the commissioner told us yesterday that you expect the best and prepare for the worst. And I'll tell you, the 8,000 police officers that are down there on the street are really earning their pay this evening.
It strikes me that the city administration deserves a lot of credit for this and for the confidence that you described that people have had in it. Certainly the officials in Washington who have seen to it that all of the nation's large computer systems governing the military machines and so on, the air traffic systems and all that have all worked effectively. They deserve a lot of credit for that. You sense the confidence long before tonight, but of course you never could know for sure. But so far it has looked very good, and of course we'll be listening as the evening wears on for any signs of trouble. But you don't sense it's going to happen, do you?
No. And what's interesting to me is to talk to folks that have been lined up outside there, some of them for 14 hours now. And they basically said, we don't even care if we can't see the ball drop. We wanted to share in this collective experience. And I met one couple that traveled all the way from California on the train because they didn't want to fly. They were scared that there were going to be some radar problems. And they are 7 blocks away now. They probably didn't see anything, but happy to be here.
We've got to take a little break here, but we're not going anywhere. Stick around, folks. We'll be back.
I don't think he's going anywhere.